Okay, we are live. At least for this stream, we don't need to have any windows open for you guys to see, because we're just chatting. Just gonna give it a few minutes while we wait for people to join in the chat before we start.
Have you shared the link?
Yeah, I shared the link on every single server I'm in and Twitter.
I was gonna say, what about Twitter? Because
Yeah.
most of you almost forgot.
I remembered this time. I remembered this time to do that.
What about Twitter too?
Wow, thanks, Twitch, for reminding me that she's live.
No, we never would have guessed. It's not like we're in the chat with her.
I'm not that dumb.
Alright, Shoka's live. Let's go check and see what she's doing right now. Exactly. Hold on, let me click the link in her Twitter.
Click on her Twitter. Oh, there's the stream. Oh my god, she's winking at me. What the fuck?
Where? Oh, that subtle
Yeah, I have a Twitter, yes. Did you not know that?
No, I knew that. I was just fucking around.
Oh.
I hope so. Oh, what a relief it is.
I guess we can consider this like the pre-show of the podcast. Where we just say random crap.
We're pre-gaming. Quick, everyone grab your energy drinks.
Don't chug them, no.
You have no idea how bad of an idea that would be for me.
Chug with you.
Oh, please, God, no. The only version of that I actually don't mind is Nate Wants to Battles, and that's specifically the context of his video for it. Because he looks so done with the world.
Yeah, so I have that one spot open in case someone else joins, but like, because Logic said he might join, but don't, like, let me read the message that he said. He said, I'm feeling a little bit more tired than I thought I would be. I hope it goes well, though, and if I can make it, I will. So, it's up in the air if he's going to be able to join or not.
Okay.
Say,
I don't blame him. I'm tired as well. So like,
and
I've had several moments where I was like, maybe I should lay down for a nap, and then I get up to go do something before I nap, and it's like, hey, suddenly here's some energy.
and then the same with Golden, because he said that he's gonna go do something with Keyframe, and so he won't be able to join today, but he'll be able to join probably next time. I'm gonna go over that in the stream when we actually do start the podcast, but like what we're gonna do, what this entire podcast is gonna be like.
to be the final frontier.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about, Final Frontier? Sir, we're not in space.
We're not in space. We're not.
I had a brain fart. No.
Space.
Uh.
The Final Frontier.
Final frontier.
God, I'm showing my age.
Space. The final frontier.
You are not Jean-Luc Picard.
Fuck!
Oh,
You're
some...
not even James T. Kirk either.
Damn it!
But can I be Sean Paul?
Why? Why do you want to?
Window, cut time comes with me. I got the right temperature.
Temperature
To
better
protect you from the snow.
Hold on. You could be Ed Mercer from the Orville. That's what you'll be.
Yeah, we can't go too long, especially if we're really good at singing, songs, because
Copyright. Yep.
Copyright.
So with that, I'm gonna switch over to the actual podcast transition.
Alrighty. Spooky.
Waiting for our stuff to load. There we go. Okay, say hi everyone.
Oh dear God! Somebody turned me into a PNG.
What the fuck is this? Why is there fucking human at the side of me? What the
Anyway.
We have an alicorn, we have a Pegasus, and we have a Chaos Pony, and then we have that weird two-legged creature in the corner.
I am what most people call a human.
Really? Because you look like a cat boy.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the podcast. So welcome everyone to who's watching in the chat, even though I can't see who all is in the chat. Let me check.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we got, well, one of them is Duct Tape, one of them is Desert Samurai. You guys don't need to be watching the stream. Like,
well, I wanted to bring up chat.
Okay. I mean,
I also want to see the background.
I still want to be on top of the tower.
no, we're not putting anyone on top of that tower. Anyways,
That actually like begs the question: how the fuck did you get up on that tower? You're an Earth phone.
I am not an Earth pony. I am a Chaos pony.
Anyways, welcome everyone. Anyways, welcome everyone to the first stream of the Stalking Dead podcast. I am joined today by Snickerman,
Hello.
by Duct Tape,
Fuck.
and Desert Samurai.
Why do I look like a cat?
So, for those of you who are new to my Twitch channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this type of stream is going to be different from my gaming streams because, unlike my gaming streams where anyone in my server could join, I'm going to be limited to the max 5 people, including myself, in a call. And we're going to be talking about different spooky related things. Because I say spooky things because I am an October baby and I love anything spooky.
I am also an October baby.
And so I thought it would be fun to do this type of podcast where we talk about anything involving horror movies, horror video games, grimdarks, horror TV shows. And when we get closer to Halloween, we're going to be doing a lot of discussions on the Halloween season and Halloween itself. Like what we watch and what we do on Halloween. But for this case, every time we do a podcast, I'll have someone different depending on the discussion that we talk about. So for now, I'm gonna tell everyone what we're doing next time in the podcast. We're going to be discussing our favorite horror movies.
Nice.
And so, if you guys are interested in that, let me know later, and then we can work out bringing you guys in for the next one.
And for those who are watching, if you want to participate in the voting, make sure to follow her Twitter.
Yep, my Twitter is in my About page on Twitch, so you can go to that, follow me there, and you guys can be involved in voting for what topics we discuss on the podcast. But yeah, so today we're going to be doing a more loosely, not so horror involved podcast, just to get everyone used to the podcast idea. So we're going to be talking about our fandoms that we are a part of and how we got into those fandoms.
Good lord, there are far too many.
I thought the Stalking Dead podcast was like talking about The Walking Dead.
Oh, we'll be talking about that, but that's only if people vote on it. But yeah, I intend to talk about The Walking Dead since it's a big part of my liking for anything spooky.
What you were gonna say, childhood?
No, not my childhood. I started watching Walking Dead in college.
Ah, fair enough.
But anyways, so we're gonna get started on the fandoms. I'm gonna give our guest the choice if they want to go first, and if so, which one would want to go first. We're just all waiting to see who all wants to talk.
I figured either Duct Tape or Desert would want to go first for the simple fact of I'm always in these streams, so hearing me talk.
I'd rather go last, honestly.
Seriously.
Fuck you, I want to go last.
I guess it's either me or.
You're the host. Go first, Shoko.
Okay. Well then, so we all know one of the fandoms I'm in is My Little Pony, and I say we, but like I first got into My Little Pony technically back when Generation 3 was around, because I was a little girl. My Little Pony was a big thing when I was little.
Makes sense.
I still have most of my My Little Pony childhood toys in my room. But that was like around 2000. I'd say 2002 probably that got into My Little Pony then. And we all know that with the Generation 4, it kind of brought a lot of people back into that fandom. For me specifically, I came back into My Little Pony when I was in middle school. And oh my gosh, I cannot express so much that my OC has changed so much since middle school. I showed Golden a picture of her when I made her on the Pony Creator website, and oh god, her thing is so cringe to look at nowadays.
Oh no, the Pony Creator.
The guests can be a little louder. Are the guests not loud?
Yeah, I've got us up, and yeah, I can barely hear us.
Yeah.
That's weird. Is desktop audio not even why is desktop audio not working? Can people hear us in the thing at all?
They can hear us. It's just very difficult to hear us.
Because I have you guys pretty much almost all the way up. Can you guys hear them now?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, hold on.
Can you guys hear them?
No, it has not changed at all.
No.
Oh gosh, we are not off to a good start with this.
This is why we're playtesting it with the first episode.
The first episode, yay! I wake up to technical difficulties.
I wake up every morning feeling like I'm silent.
Hold on. Trying to see why.
Vibration.
Can you guys hear them now?
Are we around?
Still quiet.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm doing then. Great. This is not a good start.
Oh wait.
Never mind.
No.
Yeah, we are very quiet for some reason. Can you screen share?
I could try. Hold on.
So we can see what the settings are looking like.
Entire screen. So let's see.
What a great way to start a podcast, am I right?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. What do you have for the settings and the volume?
Well, usually desktop audio should be working, so I don't know what.
Desktop audio may not be working.
Why?
Usually that would be what's picking up the stuff, but maybe the see if there's like individual audio settings for the sources of our pictures. part of the thing?
There's control audio via Streamlabs desktop for this.
Okay, so that should.
That's basically for physics reaction.
Well, I know, I'm trying to see, like...
Scroll on the mixer.
Right here?
Look at the desktop audio.
Scroll, and it's not. Podcast call, podcast chat box.
Oh, yeah, there's stuff right here for individual people.
Okay, fun.
Properties, hold on. We're gonna test this out.
There we go.
Monitor only. Should I put monitor and output?
Monitor and output will only allow you to hear all your, Oh yeah, it should be on output as well, because Desert Samurai. Desert, say something.
Something, 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 something. Dark side.
No?
Hold on.
Hello? Hello?
No, it hasn't changed.
Oh no. Oh gosh, I thought this was gonna be a good idea.
We apologize.
Are you gonna
For
drink your drink?
difficulties, folks.
Are you gonna
We
drink your
are
drink?
trying to figure out what the hell is
I
going
have water.
Okay,
We
You
are
can have it.
definitely professionals.
Yeah, we are
Wait,
professional.
Wait, why are we apologizing? They can't even hear us.
No,
They
they
can
can
hear
hear
Shogun.
us. It's just we are extremely quiet.
No worry, we're professionals. Hairdressers.
Hold on, let me get my megaphone.
Attention, people! We are having technical difficulties!
Okay, let me stop screen sharing because it's making it lag on my side a little bit. Let me see.
I think maybe add in like an audio output source.
I mean, that's why the... Okay, let's try that. I don't know if that's gonna work.
If it's not working, then it's gotta be something in your Mac settings for the sound.
For monitor, it would be monitor and output, or no?
Angel Feet. Ah, yes, professionals.
What?
And hello once again, Foxblood.
Hi, Foxblood. We're trying to figure this out. Monitor and
On
output.
the off chance that you can actually hear the greeting.
Monitor and
If you
output
can
for...
actually hear us,
should it be monitor and output for the audio output capture?
try it.
Honestly, it's mostly output that you need.
Okay, try talking now.
Hello, hello, hello.
No, it's not doing anything still.
Okay, so it must be something in your Mac settings with the sound.
Foxblood says it should be the speakers.
Well,
Yeah, it should be the.
oh. Oh.
So it has something to do. It has
Turn up
something to
the
do with
output.
the. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my god,
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
There we
It
go.
was because
There we go.
I keep forgetting that whenever I record things, I have to have my thing put to recording for my headphones and all that. Anyways, we're all good now. So where was I when I was talking?
Okay, hopefully we did not blast anyone's eardrums out like we almost did mine.
Well,
Rest in peace,
I
headphone
mean,
users.
I mean, like, I scared the shit out of myself when I heard
Thank you,
that.
Foxblood, for the
voice.
assistance.
Thank you. Oh,
Wait a minute.
someone just went into my DMs and said, "Thanks for scaring the shit out of me for your voice."
Let me change the text color because I can barely see the text chat. So let me change that to white.
Yeah,
yes.
I was gonna say I can see the words appearing, but I can't read any of it. And that's why I have the full stream up instead of just the
Oh god,
screen.
where did the
Oh god,
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
God.
really? Did we like spook them?
chat is gone.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I figured that the one thing that we spooked them was
Everybody
with this.
panic!
Okay, there we go. Chat's back up. Okay. Technical
Hey.
difficulties. Anyways, where was I when I was
You're
talking about the podcast?
goes,
When I was talking about my fandom of My Little Pony. Where did I leave off?
Yeah.
You were showing Golden your OC that you made the OC maker.
So
and now it's cringe.
yeah. So originally the best way I could describe Shuka's original design when I made her, she had pretty much a small body shape. She had Celestia type hair. She had freckles, a black nose, and she had a giant bow on her head.
So she was a half dog, half pony.
I've never thought of it as a hound dog.
That's
So,
the first thing that popped up in my mind when you said black nose.
So that
I'm
really
gonna set up a
wasn't just a
GoFundMe to help me.
So
Good luck with that.
yeah, good luck with that. I hope everybody donates you money to get out of that situation.
Yeah, I wish you luck on that.
Yeah.
That's My Little Pony in that sense. Another fandom I'm a part of strongly is the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom.
Of course.
Fair enough.
I say that mainly because a pony dog. Yep, I apparently was a pony dog. Thanks, Nick. I will never see it less than that.
You ain't nothing but a pony dog.
But
Rockin'
She was a Dorka.
a Dorka.
Fuck you, airplane. Fuck off. Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
Oh, she was a Dorka.
Fuck you. I'm out of here.
No, please come back.
Did he leave the room or did he pass the fuck out?
I heard a door slam.
Anyways, I guess while we wait for Dave to come back, I'll continue talking about my Five Nights at Freddy's OC. So my Five Nights at Freddy's OC, if you guys haven't seen her before, especially on my speed painting channel, my Five Nights at Freddy's OC is a green cat or a green animatronic cat with a purple apron that has a pizza on top of it. And she's pretty much like a maker of pizza in the pizzeria. Her name is Scratchy. And I guess the other fandoms I'm a part of are, obviously, as I mentioned before, I was part of the Creepypasta fandom. I still kind of am. And thank you for clipping that, Angel.
She was a Dorka.
Oh my god.
My Creepypasta OCs, I have two of them. They're sisters or half sisters. One of them is named Cleo Woods. She is the daughter of Jeff the Killer and Clockwork. And she takes more after her dad than anything. She even has like that insane split personality thing that Lou had. Or wait, not her dad's not Jeff. That's her sister. Her dad's homosexual Lou. That's who it is. I can't get them. I can't get them straight apparently. And then her half sister is Bella Woods, who is is the daughter of Jeff the Killer and Clockwork. So that's who that is. I actually ship my OC Bella Woods with the Puppeteer, and you would see a speed paint I did of them on my main speed painting channel. And then the last fandom I'm active in right now is like the Has Been Hotel Hell of a Boss fandom.
Of course.
A
lot of us are.
I have a couple like OCs for that, but my main one is a imp. Her name is Mal. And she's a really cool looking imp. I think I've shown some of you her before. She's got like crosses. She's got like X's in her eyes.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, she's one of my cool ones. I ship her with Angel Dust.
Of course.
But
Well, when
Of
it's not
course.
Angel Dust, it's usually Alistair, so...
yeah, I just think Angel Dust is a lot more better than Alistair. That's my opinion. But
That's fair.
But yeah, so those are the fandoms I'm currently active in. There are other miscellaneous ones, but those are the main ones I'm currently active in. Snake, would you like to go next?
Sure, why not? So, as I said earlier, there's a plethora of fandoms I'm a part of. I don't think there's any that I'm excessively active in. I think I'm about as active in each one as any of the others. But we'll go ahead and start off with the first one I ever became a part of, and that is the anime fan. And that started with me watching Saturday morning cartoons where Sailor Moon was available.
Oh, Sailor Moon.
And I don't mean the remade
Ooh.
Sailor Moon. I mean the
original?
originals
Yep.
that you could get on VHS, and they screwed up the order of the episodes
Oh, they did?
horrendously. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
You had episodes 1, 4, 2, and then I think 6 on the first VHS.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Oh,
My-
it was a trip trying to watch through all of them. You got to see Sailor Mars helping with Mercury and Moon at the before you actually got to see Sailor Mercury actually join the crew.
Oh, wow.
But oh yeah, it was a trip. But I'm huge for like anime in general, and I think the biggest animes that I'm at least currently involved in, like keeping up with and everything, besides Detective Conan, because I love that one to death. There's Eminence in Shadow that I am absolutely adoring. I love the isekais the most. Go figure. And what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one is. Never mind. So anyway, go figure. When it comes to OCs and creating OCs for different stuff, I've got a huge list. But for anime, I actually came up with one for the Naruto series, which is my character Olive Uchiga, which, if you can't tell by the last name, he's the illegitimate child of both the Hyuga clan and the Uchiha clan, whose parents died, and he ended up going to a village hidden in the sky, or village hidden in the clouds, one of the two. That one got destroyed and removed from history. He was the only survivor.
Oh.
Enough about him, though. He's also the only character that can defeat almost He's the only character who can consistently beat my main OC, who is a multi-fandom character, because he's overpowered. We'll get to that later. D&D is another fandom I'm in. Dungeons and Dragons. I used to play a lot more than I currently do. I still collect the books and keep up with the rules, but that's neither here nor there. That's actually where my overpowered OC got his start as my first character in a large group that wasn't in my family. He is a half-elf who ended up becoming favored by most of the deities in the rules in existence. So he ended up... Cthulhu decided to do some screwed up shit with his background, made him an extraplanar character, and he's just too powerful.
So like it's like the Mary Sue of D&D.
You could say that. He can die. He just doesn't stay dead. Even with a very carefully worded wish. he still comes back.
Okay.
People have tried. Let me put it that way. People have tried to kill him with every possible way. I had to create a method in which he could be killed. But because of how powerful that item has to be, it's limited on its use. It gets very contrived. But Snickerman, his actual name, first and last anyways, is Sebastian Kelter. He is my overpowered OC.
So he's
his power is actually, or his extreme powers are actually through his title of Snickerman, which is only given to one of the 174 individuals throughout the multiverse, none of which are named the same. None of which are even remotely similar to each other outside of the potential of inheriting said title. But he is the overpowered one. He is actually the third most terrifying.
Third?
Out of all of them. Despite how overpowered he is the third most terrifying.
Oh, wow.
One of them is terrifying just because there is no trying to reason with one of them. He is all about revenge or vengeance and does not have a way of properly communicating. He is he is the Snickerman from the Destiny universe, who ended up becoming a guardian. Yeah, I use that term loosely. Because of an amalgam ghost. It was too big to actually be part of the usual groups of ghosts and some other stuff. I'm not going to get into the details of that. The most terrifying is actually an old lady who just sits in a community. And the reason why she's the most terrifying is because she will not hesitate to glass an entire city because of one person deciding to tell her no after she asked nicely for them to stop. And then she will take the people who are misplaced because they weren't in the area of the city at the time that it got glassed and add them to her community. Just invite them, they get homes and stuff. She's basically a mob boss.
Oh.
And is more terrifying than anyone else. But anyways, moving on from that, because there's a whole bunch of information that's got all sorts of weird stuff going on for that. There's also, of course, My Little Pony. I've been part of the fandom since about 2014, 2015. I want to say 2015. Because one of my friends who was already very heavily involved in the show showed me Ponies the Anthology.
Oh, yeah.
And because of Ponies the Anthology, I came across Pinkie Pie having a mental breakdown.
Oh.
And I laughed it off thinking it was a fan-created thing. And he's like, no, that's from the show. And he showed me, and I was just like, well, I've got to go watch this now. You know, a family show.
That's very normal.
A family show.
The fight with Tyrek. Totally a family show. That's why he gets literally attempted to be murdered by being plowed through a freaking mountain or into the ground. She was plowed through a mountain.
Like, what kind of fucking Dragon Ball Z bullshit is this?
Exactly. By the way, for those who were here for the pre-show, to answer your question, Duct Tape, Chaos Ponies are different from Earth Ponies for the simple fact of they float over the ground. First off, I had to create an entire race. I actually created 2 whole races. But we won't get into that yet. I had to create an entire new race just to add my OC into the world. Because I wanted to be a powerful character, a powerful race. At the time, there had been no indication of beyond. No, not like Screwball. Screwball is something completely different.
Yeah.
I wanted something that was powerful like alicorns,
but not
but
alicorn.
not be an alicorn because I saw how much hate alicorns got. And I wanted to try and mix things up, and just ended up having to create a whole new race just to do that. Chaos ponies can cast magic like unicorns from any of the ponies, like an alicorn can fly like Pegasi, only without the wings, and can use earth magic and are typically stronger or faster on the ground, similar to earth ponies. And they look like earth ponies, with the exception of, if you look very carefully at their feet typically, hooves, will typically float a little bit over the ground, depending on how much magic they have in their family lineage, as well as depending on how heavy they are. My OC has so much magic that it's almost like a shield around him. So, difficult to hit to begin with. The problem is, he's also dense as heck.
What did you make him dense as heck?
Because I wanted to really key into him being a very, how to put it? He can take a hit. He can take a hit very well. He's a very sturdy pony.
He's sturdy.
Sturdy.
And despite the fact that he can run fast, he is the slowest flyer in existence.
How did...
His top fly speed is less than half a mile an hour.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow.
That is with magical enhancements.
Wow.
Yeah, your first spelling of chaos was incorrect. You flipped the O and the A. Good job on getting it right the second time, though.
Coas.
But that is my pony OC. I also am lightly involved in the furry fandom as a whole, with a hybrid character that I still don't have art with, of a mix between, take a minotaur, replace the top half with a bear instead of a cow, or bull, rather, add a bone wing on the left side and a dragon wing on the right side.
So it's like that.
And
so it's like that,
there you go.
It's like that amalgamation of that one Digimon from the original Digimon sequel.
Are you talking about? No, you said from the sequel. I was gonna say, are you talking about when Metal War Greymon had fused with someone else, and it was like a forced fusion type thing?
No.
No.
I'm talking
The
about
Discord
the one
furry.
I'm talking about the one that Ken Ichijoji created out of amalgamation of other Chimeramon, yeah.
Foxflood, you're not wrong, but you're also wrong at the same time, because I'm using the hybrid as the basis for a species in my own personal writing called Nightmares, which are basically just amalgamations of different creatures that are born from Fae creatures, because the Fae have a thing where they can choose what their offspring looks like.
I wish that was an actual thing. Can I choose my own
Oh.
offspring, please? I was gonna take a side trip right now for this. I did forget to mention I am like you. I'm slightly part of the furry fandom, not entirely.
Yeah.
Because you've seen my furry, my blue tiger OC that I have, Zaid.
Yeah.
She's like a she's a punk. She's like a punk cat. She's got a lot of piercings and a spike collar.
Nice.
And she's got like a crop top shirt and like jean shorts.
Fair enough.
But I don't use them that much because she is difficult to draw because I can't draw humanoids.
Yeah, you can understand based on what my furry character is that
yeah. I mean,
it's difficult to get art like that.
yeah, especially since Logic has said it too because he has a furry. He just doesn't use him.
Yeah, I do recall that as well. I'm also part of the Ruby fandom. The character... Someone has joined.
We got Golden Fox.
Oh,
Hey, Golden Fox has arrived!
Golden, let me
Apologies.
get your...
Apologies if I interrupted anything.
Oh, no.
Oh, I gotta move people around. Oh gosh, hold on. What?
You gotta move
Oops.
it.
So while she's busy dealing with that, I was...
Yeah.
Okay,
We're in the middle of talking about the different fandoms we're a part of and the OCs we may or may not have involved in it. I have an OC for the Ruby fandom where his entire shtick is he self-explodes. I actually have two. One of them is a faunus, the other one is a human. The human self-explodes. And he uses tonfa pistols as his weapons.
I need to fix it.
He's all about stealth and everything like that. The faunus that I have is a heavy-duty sniper hammer wielder. He moves around slowly. His sniper rifle is built in a way that when he shoots, everything within like 5 or 10 feet of the path of the bullet takes damage in some way, shape, or form. If you are within 5 feet of that bullet going past your face, you're dead.
Oh wow.
Well done.
If it hits you, you have no head.
Wow.
I mean-
Okay.
It has to be that powerful though, because he also uses blanks in order to use the gun portion of it in order to move himself faster than he can naturally, and he doesn't move very fast. So,
I mean, I'm starting to get into Ruby, as you know, because Continuum's been showing me Ruby recently.
yes,
I don't think I'll make a character based on Ruby though, because once again, humanoid.
yeah, that's fair.
And I only want.
But we have like a humanoid in this podcast. What the fuck are you on about?
He's the
I
only,
feel
yes.
offended.
he's the only one that's not a pony. Are there any other fandoms you're a part of, Snick, or is that all?
There's a lot more. Any important ones to mention? Hold on, let me scroll through the list here.
You got a list on hand.
I have a list in my head that I'm
I got a
scrolling
phone
through.
call. Sorry. I'll
Um,
take this one.
Okay.
Oh, the
Alright.
ringtone looks nice.
Did I just hear music?
That was duct tape. He had a phone call.
Okay.
The only other fandom I can think of is the VTubing scene.
Is that technically?
There's a lot of VTubers. The biggest one,
Is that technically a fandom though?
Yes, it is.
I
There's a
believe
lot.
so,
Oh my God.
because the VTubers have their own like portion of the internet that is a community, and then each VTuber individually has their sub communities.
Yeah.
The biggest one that I loved to death is no longer on the scene. That was Pikami.
Oh.
I already am aware that it is not the case that people who hated the Hogwarts thing chased her off the internet. That's not the case. Official letters and everything has said that, including her own statement. The timing of it could not have been worse, though. But I was a huge fan of hers. I never really got to participate in any of her streams, but I loved watching clips from her. The big ones that I watch currently are Snuffy, an epileptic gamer,
Oh, the one you showed me.
or Epi, yes. And then what was the other one? Snuffy, Epi, and not Buff Pup, but Rose Doodle.
Yeah, because
I
I
knew
know
it was
that
one
a
of them.
lot of streamers and all that I grew up watching, like Tricky Wee, who did a lot of Pokemon stuff. She's now a VTuber, which is interesting.
Well, yeah, PNG tubers are VTubers without the 3D models. So,
Well, no, she literally has a 3D model.
well, no, I'm commenting on Foxblood's comment.
Oh.
Ah,
Okay, I was very confused. I was like, wait, who are you
Sorry.
replying to? But yeah, those are a lot of fandoms. Yeah, a lot more than I was a part of.
I told you I have a lot.
I know Duct Tape and Samurai want to go last for some odd reason.
So
It's going to end up to where both of us have to like get
Rock,
a
paper,
coin flip
scissors.
to see who will officially
I
be
mean,
last.
I do have a coin. I got back from my phone call. Sorry about that.
Oh God! Oh God! We're going to distractible this.
Okay, so do you guys want Golden to go first while you got and then afterwards we'll flip a coin for you guys to see who goes first after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And-
I'm passing it over to Golden.
all right. So what's the question?
We're going over the fandoms that we are a part of and any OCs that we have a part of those fandoms and how we got into them.
Okay, so I think the one major elephant in the room is that I've been in the Brony fandom for about 10 plus years, and this is so far the only OC that I have as far as fandoms go. And I suppose I could elaborate the story how I came up with the design, but at the same time, I also have something that is in the works to make my channel more universal. So I came up with the pony design since 2012 when at the time I had nice hair and I wanted to match that hairstyle that I have. Apparently I'm going bald nowadays. But I wanted to go for
Me
a bright
too, man. Me too. Don't worry.
I was aiming for a brightish type of color, mostly red, but then I realized and I just noticed your PNG tuber was gone on your stream for a second.
Yeah, I was trying to fix something.
C's. So, I noticed that, there's two different colors because I was used to like making hair brown or making hair like the natural colors that we always see in many different cartoon shows. And I was like, wait, I can go beyond that. So I made the hair red and went for an orange coat color. And I was like, you know what, that works. The eyes blue was because in real life I had blue eyes. So I put a little bit of myself in there and it just came out pretty well. As far as the diamond thing, that was an idea that was passed up in 2016 when I was finishing a Magic Sheep, and it was just like it would be a cute idea to have like some special marking to help stand out a bit. So, I went the extra mile to think that maybe that the diamond could mean something a little more, like because I stated that my character was supposedly raised in a unicorn family, but he was the only Pegasus born out of it, which to an extent is more like a metaphorical thing showing that I was different from everybody else. Not just, somebody with autism, but I was just a very different type of person. Like, I didn't have much of a connection with them. Love my family, just my interests were dramatically different. There were some things that we did share, but I still had my own route that I wanted to take. So that's kind of what it's there for. And I'm suddenly drawing a blank here. That's as far as I can kind of conjure up at the moment. I do have some ideas later down the line. On the other hand, I spoke to an artist who is a fantastic artist named Panda Paws, or Simple Arts with a Z, and I commissioned them to draw an Anthro OC fox of mine in order to match the brand of my channel name. Partially because people complained, well, you don't have a fox OC, you're using a pony OC. It's like, okay, well, that's there to shut them up. But also,
Wow.
I've been making content long before I even joined the Brony fandom. I just didn't really get as much recognition. And the fandom kind of boosted me forward. Up until then, I've been meaning to have a Fox OC. Until then, at that time, I just made a recolor of a Tails OC from Sonic because basically I got the username from Sonic and not Sonic, Tails in the Sonic franchise because I like the character. He can fly. He's a mechanic. He can do a lot of crazy, creative shit. And I do apologize if swearing is prohibited.
That's fine.
Okay,
No, I have a bad habit of swearing regardless, so.
So
join
do
the
I.
club.
Yeah.
The one
There's a
thing-
reason why I don't monetize my YouTube videos.
The one thing I do want to bring up that you said, Golden, is the fact that you said that for your pony OC, your idea was that you're the only Pegasus in a unicorn family,
Yes.
and it kind of reminds me because, like, it's hard to believe, but I made pony versions of my mom and my dad. And
Oh, really?
So yeah, my mom is a green unicorn because my mom's favorite colors are green, and I thought it would be interesting to have her as a unicorn, because she likes like stars and everything. And then my dad's OC is a tan colored Pegasus.
And color Pegasus, okay.
And so I was like, I made their OCs I made their ponies after I made mine, and so a lot of people were just like, "Why are you an alicorn and why are you different colors in them?" I'm just like,
Yeah, I was. Good.
I got blasted by magic and it
I like
removed my
to-
colors but gave me magical powers.
because granted, like I mentioned this at the beginning before you came, Golden, but when I was discussing about my OC, I made her originally on the the Pony Creator website, and so originally she was just going to be a unicorn, because centered on art. I wanted her to have like magic to lift up pencils and everything. But then I was like messing around with the Pony Generator and found out I can make an alicorn on there. Granted, when I first made her, a lot of people that I knew locally did not like her because she was an alicorn. And then I made them even more upset when I made my parents' ponies. From now on I just tell people like, hey, it's like the baby cakes incident. Like genetics got messed up.
I was going to add a little more as to how my character was born as a Pegasus and why he has like some unusual behaviors. I'm not going to go in too much detail here because I don't want to make this like a deep fanfic lore that I would share with you guys because that would just be that would be absolute cringe. But but that's just an idea that's floating up in the air. So, I do have. I don't know if it's allowed to be shared on the screen or anything like that, but I do have the Fox OC that Panda drew. There are some changes that I'm still making that I will have to let them know about. If it's all right with you, I can just share the link in the stream chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's the work in progress. There are some adjustments that do need to be made. It just looks like a redoing of my Pony OC just turned into a fox with the hairstyle and the wings and everything. I did say that I wanted my character to have the wings on there because I always love the idea of flying. But as of right now, that's what I have so far. I really have to put some more thought into that. So, for any other fandoms outside of that, I guess I'm a part of the Lion King fandom if that's ever a thing.
Yeah,
I don't contribute to it as much. Like I've only done like a couple of videos about it explaining my personal connection with the movie and how it reflects on my very big my very own nostalgia and how much I just have a lot of personal passion put into it. I guess I'm somewhat of a Sonic fan. I'm mostly just like the Genesis games. I'm a big fan of old school retro games, and I at some point in the future plan on doing some reviews of that. Preferably, I don't plan on using any OCs on that because, I know that there are some people who would use their OCs for things outside of MLP, and that's fine. That maybe that could just become it can become a good staple part of their channel even after Friendship is Magic ended. It just feels out of place for me personally. Like if I did a movie review and used my Pony OC, It just feels off.
Yeah.
I know that some people did it, and that's fine. Like I know that Silver Quill has done some reviews of other cartoon shows, and he still uses his MLP Griffin character. Like to be fair, it's like designed
Yeah.
differently. I think somewhere down the line, like Bliss still uses her pony OC, and that's probably going to be a permanent part. But it would make sense to her naturally because she
Yeah.
contributes to things mostly reflecting her childhood, which involved Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright. In fact, she used the Rainbow Bright theme most of the time on her channel. And most of that also revolves around rainbows and fantasy and everything. You know, a lot of the staple elements that Friendship is Magic had. So it just connects to it. But she also steps outside of her boundary a little bit to talk about her love of, like, I don't know if she is going to do it, but I won't be surprised if she does. She's a fan of the Alien franchise. She's a fan of a few other horror titles. Um, but outside of that, any other fandoms? They're probably like leaving my head right now, but I'm pretty sure that if I were to try to elaborate anything further, like I'm drawing a blank right now. But watch, as soon as like the podcast is over, I would be like, crap, I forgot about this or I forgot about that.
That's okay. You brought up video games. You
The
brought up
thing
video
about-
games, and I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of old retro games.
Yeah.
And I forgot about Hell of a Boss. And,
Oh, hell of a boss! Yeah, no, I don't
And,
have any. I don't have any impo Cs or anything like that, and I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Just
Snick gets an overhaul when he
And-
goes to that
and-
world.
and if it does become a fandom, I guess Bluey, but I don't want the fandom to grow into like ridiculous fanfics or anything like that.
Oh,
It's
God,
just a
no.
no.
Yeah,
It's a
please
simple. It's a
leave
simple.
alone.
It's a simple, beloved, cute kid show.
We
We
must
don't need it
protect-
ruined.
We must
The innocence. Let's not ruin it.
protect Blue.
Let's not ruin the innocence, and I can't believe I named my OC Bluey.
Also, can I just point out real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All of our OCs have blue eyes.
Holy
Every
shit!
single one
Oh
of
my
them.
god, you're
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
so
we do.
I probably,
like Sneakerman and Eyes. I see Duct Tapes has more of like a teal, greenish, like bluish color. Like I think it was turquoise.
Yeah, it's turquoise.
I probably should bring up why my OC's eyes are blue, because my eyes are not blue, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, two reasons. One, I have this plush orca that I have in my room that I got from Six Flags, from of the orca of the same name, inspiration of my OC's name, and the eyes on that are blue, so that's one reason. The second reason, I actually used to have blue eyes when I was a baby, and then my mom said as I got older, my eyes changed like a chameleon and became hazel.
Ooh.
But when you brought up like using other OCs for like other things on your channel, I immediately thought of Mad Munchkin and how she like uses different versions of her OC to show
Yeah.
like, her interest of other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that would have been something cool to do. But I was like, I didn't want to overdo it on my thing because even though I'm into other fandoms like Five Nights at Freddy's and all that, I wanted to mainly keep the Pony OC because that's how everyone knows me. And I feel like that's probably the same with a lot of people too who are into other things. Like they would want to be like, oh, I want to like have an OC for every single thing I talk about. But it's like
It can be a little. It
It's
can
a-
be a little
yeah.
overbearing. That's like, buddy. Yeah, it's biting more than you can chew. But at the same time, if you're using one thing for a lot of stuff, it almost looks like, and no pun intended, it just looks like a one-trick pony. Like it's just, it feels one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think there's a balance you would have to find.
Yeah. Like
That's part of the reason why a majority of the fans or fandoms that I'm in, it's usually some form of Snickerman that gets thrown in. Unless I love it so much, I want its own OC for that world.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned this before. I didn't mention it on the podcast here, but like also for the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, I wanted to because you know like the Five Nights at Pinky scene that was going around, they had animatronic versions of the main six and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I decided it'd be fun to attempt to make my OC as an animatronic, and so I have an animatronic version of my OC that I'll draw off and on. And I was debating about getting vectors made of her, as well for when I would in the future talk about Five Nights at Freddy's or something. But then I'm like, that's costing more money. So I decided against it, but it was a cool idea because I liked the idea of making her an animatronic, but then I was like, no, because then I have Scratchy. She's my main Five Nights at Freddy's OC that I do for all FNAF stuff. Anyways, is that all you got for now, Golden?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it up there for now.
Oh, okay. So now we have to flip a coin for Duct Tape and Desert Samurai. So
All right, Double
Okay.
D, flip a coin. Who's calling
Okay.
it?
Okay, which one's going to get heads or tails?
I'm gonna get heads.
Then I guess I'm with tails.
I got my
Oh,
coin.
best Sonic character.
Yes.
Flying around at the
All right.
speed of.
I
Oh
got
God!
I got the coin. I got the coin. All right. Here
All
we
right.
go. No!
I guess,
That was the
I guess,
tails?
I guess it's you, Duct Tape.
Yes.
Okay, then. Go
He
ahead,
really
Duct
wanted to be
Tape.
last.
Tails never fails.
Fuck off.
Okay, then. Go ahead, Duct Tape.
All right. So I joined the fandom since 2016, and I love explaining this story to everyone. So I was still in high school. My friend at the time was a huge brony, and so he made a deal with me that if I lose, I have to be forced to watch My Little Pony at his house, and also he makes sure that he ties me on the chair, which he did. So I lost the bet, and after school,
Really?
I was trying to get onto the bus, but he saw me and just drags my arm. Like, literally drags my arm. And then takes me to his house, puts me on a chair, ties me up with a little bit of rope. I was like, I don't want to do this. Hey, mate, you lost the bet. Deal with it. So he turns on his television, shows the show, and it was at the beginning, like season 1, episode 1. And then I took a watch, and I was like, okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty interesting. Still the next episode? Oh, yeah, sure. Next episode? Yeah, sure. Next episode? Yes, sure. Next episode? Oh my god, I'm hooked.
Oh God, I'm
That's
already in the next
exactly
season.
what happened to me.
I had to give the show a second chance because the first time that I got introduced to it, friggin' someone saw that I posted how I love Arias, and they're like, here's the This Day Aria, and I'm just like, okay, let me go ahead and check this out. I showed up to the wrong episode of the show, the Valentine's Day episode.
Oh, no.
Was it Hearts and Who's Day?
I said I was never gonna watch it again, and then the letter thing happened, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm glad I gave the show the second chance.
I've been saying this for a long time that when it comes to Hearts and Who's Day, I do not recommend it for newcomers because that schmoopy doopy talk is very offsetting for a lot of
'cause,
people.
Like, I feel like for most of us who are in relationships, like, we don't talk like that to our significant other at all.
Oh yeah,
No,
especially
no,
to my
there's-
girlfriend.
When I was in a relationship, I never talked like that.
Yeah, no, okay, so the argument that I hear all the time is that it's supposed to be like that because it's supposed to show the side effects of the love poison, which is what they would call it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a negative effect or a negative side effect, showing like it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. That's what they're aiming for. Doesn't make it entertaining.
Yeah.
It just makes it
really
annoying.
doesn't make it any better.
It kind of reminds me of how I started watching Friendship is Magic, because like I said before, I came in at around I came in at G3. I grew up with G3, and so there was like a time, believe it or not, there was a time that I took a break from My Little Pony, and that was like while I was in, surprisingly enough, 5th grade, because I was made fun of a lot in elementary school for still liking My Little Pony for my age at the time. And then I took that break, and actually when I was in middle school around 7th grade, when I first met my best friend May, she would like talk about My Little Pony all the time at our church and everything, and I was like, okay, I didn't know they were still doing My Little Pony, but okay. And then one day I was like watching Netflix on my Wii console back when they still watched on the Wii, and I was watching it with my cousin, and and I was watching it with my cousin, and my cousin's like, oh, like let's watch My Little Pony on Netflix. I'm like, it's on Netflix? And she's like, yeah, like let's try it because we haven't seen the new show yet. And I'm like, okay. Granted, I was a little biased when I first watched Friendship is Magic, because I was like, at first the animation from the pilot episode kind of was like weird for me, because I grew up with G3, which was a different art style entirely. And after watching a couple episodes, I was like, oh gosh, I'm addicted to this. Why am I addicted to this again? And since then, we all know what happened.
Yep. Being forced to watch a show because you lost a fucking bet during high school. That's what literally got me into the fandom. I lost the bet. He forced me to watch the show. I got hooked. And then when it was like nighttime, he was like, all right, you can go home now. I was like, but I want to watch more. Please let me watch more.
You're like, please, I want to watch more. I'm addicted.
No, I need to know what happens to Pinky. Did she ever recover fully from the mental breakdown?
That's like me with Ruby right now. Like I'm like, I want to continue, but I need to wait for Continuum because I don't want to keep watching them by myself because I have so many questions.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I go home and then I watch the show all night and then I realized, oh fuck, I have school tomorrow. I'm gonna be tired.
That was me with work. I was like, oh crap, I gotta get some sleep. I can't afford to get fired.
Jeez.
Yeah, so joined the fandom since 2016, and then I created my very first character, which is this guy, but he never had to tape.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh yeah, that's why
Spoke too much, I'm guessing.
That's why your vectors have like some of the vectors you gave me don't have the tape on them.
yeah, I actually did curse the chat like just showing my OC without the tape and just like no, put the tape back on.
Oh my.
You're like, no.
Pinky.
They're like, no, we need the tape. It fits you better.
That's what happens when you end up with a staple to your character.
Yeah.
And you decide to change it. It's like, even if it's just this tiny little detail, like if say someone was to have an earring at the top of their ear and they had it for years, and then you decide to post one image without that there, people would lock onto that and be like, what happened?
Yeah, I did that on my Twitter once, and all the tweets and the replies that I received, they were losing their shit. They were legitimately like losing their shit. They're just like, imposter, that's sus! Where's the tape? Bring back the tape! It's like you said.
I think I remember seeing that too.
Like you said, it becomes a staple of my character. And so I promised that once I reached 1,000 subscribers, I would tell the story. I've reached 1,000 subscribers, so fuck. All right, so this boy here, of course, is a Pegasus, obviously, and he's from Manhattan, originally from Manhattan, not Ponyville, not Cloudsdale, anything, Manhattan. So, in this story, when he was a colt, there was, as I'm a sucker for a tragic stories. Yes, this is gonna be a tragic one. It was
Brace
a fire
yourselves.
accident. Yeah.
Oh.
Brace yourselves. There was a fire accident. And he was rescued, but unfortunately his parents weren't.
Oh.
So he's an orphan. And he was the only family member in that family.
Aww.
I was going to give him an older brother, but as you know, I'm a sucker for tragic stories. Let's well, at least he has an adopted brother who's a green dragon pony,
Oh, is it
a
I know which one you're talking
trolling
about.
Cortez.
Yep, that.
Yeah, that guy.
I knew it was that person. I just didn't know the name.
Yeah, his pony name is Cortez Colt.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, he was trying to look for ways to survive. You know, as a colt, you would be very terrified living in the streets. But he wasn't living in the streets for far too long. He was found by a random pony who was actually starting up their business. So he was found, he was brought into their home, he was looked after, taken care of, and then he grew up in that place. And he was looking at getting a job with his business. And so, like, the guy was thinking, okay, maybe I can give you a business, we'll give you into training, and then see how well you do. He did very well for his very first job. And he's been doing it for about, I could say, about 9 or 10 years. 9 or 10 years since he did his job, and he still continues. But then one day, the business was going very slow, and unfortunately, the guy that found him couldn't afford to give him any more money. So he decided that with the money that Bluey has saved, he said, "Okay, I cannot afford to pay you that much for your hours. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to move somewhere else where it's peaceful, where everything will do good for you. And with the money that you saved, which is surprisingly good, I want you to move into Ponyville." And Bluey's like, "Oh, why would I want to move to Ponyville? What is Ponyville?" He's like, "Ponyville is the safest and best place for you. And because I cannot afford to give you any more money because my business has been going very slow, I figure that you'll move to a place where you'll feel happy." And Bluey's like, "But I feel happy here, sir." And he's like, "Well, you've been living in Manhattan for a long time. I think it's time that you should just go out there, explore other places like Ponyville or Cloudsdale. Cloudsdale has like a lot of Pegasus like you." And so he was thinking about it, and he was like, "Okay, sir, I guess I'll move into Ponyville." And he's like, "Good pony.
Like, good boy.
I'm so glad I found you, son." "Yeah, thank you, sir. I'll do my best. Don't worry, you feel very happy." And so he takes the train, goes to Ponyville, and at this time he was feeling very, very overwhelmed. And at this point, you would feel very overwhelmed too if you're like moving to a place, even though you want to stay in that specific place because it's your home, it's your place, it's where you belong. I also get that feeling too when I moved out for the very first time. It's a struggle,
I
like
understand
starting.
that.
Yeah, it's a struggle, like starting a new life.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where the duct tape comes in.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
So the duct tape came from this random entity that I just created. It's like this black smoke thing just like floats by because this thing just notices that Bluey was literally sitting down crying because he doesn't know what to do when starting a new life. And this was before he arrived to Ponyville. So like he aboards from the train station, but he was not at Ponyville yet. Like he sits down at this road, sobbing weeply, and then this random entity comes in, and then he is like, "So, if I could try to remember my fucking lore, because it's been a long time. God damn. So like this entity just like it just gives him a deal because of course this random entity is like hiding away from somewhere, and he was just like Bluey without a second thought. His dense brain just went like, yeah, okay, and then wins it through his mouth, shuts the tape. So this tape is like protecting this entity from whatever it's hiding from. But this duct tape is special because it gave him unbelievable powers that he wished he had if he was a unicorn. So, like teleportation, telepathy, which is speaking from his mind, and this airplane just went by. Fuck you.
We all heard that too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The plane's like, I want to be a part
So
of it.
like, yeah. So like telepathy, like talking to other ponies without using the mouth, because if you're talking with the mouth, it goes like this. Oh fucking shit! I can't even speak.
There's a part of me. There's a
Artist,
part
I
of.
could understand that.
It's like there's like a part of me that wanted to like believe that the duct tape was like a special speaker whenever you spoke.
You get it, Kenny.
it's like in the clips from my games, like when you're editing them, like with the Porky Piss, you're like speaking through your mind.
That's legitimately what it is. But I feel I could have added like a reverb because it's telepathy, like you're speaking through the mind, and
So you'd be talking like Mewtwo.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
if I'm thinking reverb, I'm thinking of the Doki Doki one where you're having a hard time.
Oh, where he's in the bathroom?
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Try to tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Anyways, continue.
So that's where the duct tape came from. I don't know if it was anticlimactic at that point, but it's the story. So that's where the duct tape came from. Yeah.
It works. It works. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it works. It works.
I feel like at this point, my OC is just a representation of what I like, because I have no lore for her. I'm just like, oh, I really like her. I like orcas. They're one of my favorite animals.
Yeah.
That's like why I made her the way she is.
Yeah.
I remember Logic asked me what the lore is of my OC once when we first met, and I'm like, He's like, you just have an OC, don't you? I'm like, yes.
Nearly every OC I've created, I could probably write a whole book on their lore.
I think the only ones the only OCs I have that have lore are my creepypasta OCs and maybe my FNAF OC. And that's it.
I feel like that it's a rule. I feel like it's like some general rule that if you create an OC, you have to create the lore. And I'm like, but I just want to create an OC. Do I?
Well,
need
yes.
lore?
I mean, kind of. It really all depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every OC comes with lore. It's a matter of how much effort are you going to put into their lore. There are some people who can sum up their lore in 1 or 2 sentences. There are others who cannot, for the life of them, in my case, for example, leave alone their lore to and end up writing about 70 pages worth of content for their OC.
And then people like me who do not write at all, and when I try to write stuff, it just turns out like crap, and it just does not sound or look good at all. Which is why I only have 1 chapter out of my 1 creepypasta OC story. I look back at it now and it's cringe, and I'm like, I can't write for the life of me.
We know the age-old question, what are our origins? When it comes to the writing stuff, we're like,
Let's sweep that under the rug and not talk about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Before we...
That's the kind of feeling I get. That's the kind of feeling I get whenever I like look back on my much older videos, like my very first pony video. Like I take pride into it because it's what initiated my channel, but at the same time, oh my god, I could have written my critiques so much better.
Yeah. But before we move on to Desert Hammer, I did want to bring up something that Golden asked me in a DM. He asked, why did I call the podcast Stalking Dead?
Oh, I was expecting that to be talked about like
Uh,
sometime after the podcast would end,
um,
because I thought you talked about it already.
I talked about it in the beginning,
Not yet.
but long and short of it, since you weren't here, I'll just run by it really fast since we still have time in the podcast. So, after the podcast today, any type of podcast that we do for this is anything spooky. So it's not just The Walking Dead duct tape.
You had to call me out.
Of course.
You thought it was just gonna be about The Walking Dead, like talking about it. Like, no, I'm not just talking about.
Well,
Walking
if it's
Dead.
named Stalking Dead, it could have been all about The Walking Dead.
But like, I mean, the podcast in general, like, we're gonna be talking about like depending on what's voted on my polls that I post on my Twitter. So, like, for example, this last poll that I put out for after this podcast is over, the next one we're going to do probably next week sometime, or maybe at the end of the week, depending on scheduling. It's going to be about our favorite horror movies.
Huzzah.
So, like maybe pull together, like, maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite horror movies. So then we could discuss them. Sort of like a short review type of thing.
So what this kind of sounds like is it sounds like the type of podcast where it's just asking us, things that are kind of a bit personal, but are like general questions, like getting to know one another.
Yeah.
But in a more humorous sense, is quote unquote stalking someone.
Yeah. Because there's also that, and then like maybe another one could be what our favorite horror icons are of the horror franchise in general. And I was talking to Desert Samurai about this. It doesn't have to be strictly related to horror, because I know that they have mixed genres now for horror. Like you said, like Alien is now considered under the horror franchise, even though it's sci-fi.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking more of horror than sci-fi, but okay.
because I'm thinking about like the channel Dead Meat and how they do their kill counts and everything. And they include Alien on there, even though it's not a horror franchise. So anything that has, like, kill counts in them or killings in them, like Tremors, Aliens, Final Destination, that type of stuff. Anything that involves actually people dying in it, that is considered, to me, horror or anything scary. So anything spooky related we're going to talk about in the podcast. Any type of horror or scary shows, like Walking Dead or Stranger Things, anything involving those types of things. And when we get closer to Halloween, we're going to talk about movies and all that we watch around Halloween time specifically. Like no other time are we going to talk about these types of things only around Halloween, or we only watch these around Halloween time because they give us that vibe of Halloween. Or we're going to talk about our Halloween traditions when we were growing up, or what we dressed as for Halloween certain times. And this one actually just came to my head just now. There are actually some horror movies that are in the Christmas genre.
Oh my god.
The first one that popped in my head, I can guarantee everyone knows what it is.
I'm thinking of
Krampus.
Gremlins.
Do 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 do
Oh,
do
oh,
do
Nightmare
do
Before Christmas.
There you go.
Oh, I was thinking of Gremlins because Gremlins takes place during Christmas. But anyways,
I forgot about Gremlins. I'm gonna be honest.
And I know there's also other things like that Silent Night movie,
Violent Night. That was
Violent
amazing.
Night.
I loved it.
Anything paranormal as well.
Nice.
And we're gonna talk about horror games, like horror games, like video games in general that are centered on horror. So anything involving spookiness in general after this is going to be about what the podcast is about.
And some kind of personal attachment or something.
Yeah, because like I'm an October baby, and so anything involving horror and spookiness is what I am.
Well, personally, I think that Halloween is like it's becoming more of my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love decorating for Halloween. I know people could say like Christmas is also a good thing to decorate for, but like
Okay, let's be real. Most people just like Christmas because of the minty colors and presents.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know that Logic was going to come today, and he was going to talk about his experience with the fandoms and everything, but he won't probably be on as much because of horror. Because, granted, he loves that I love horror. He loves it. because he hears me talk about it all the time and how enthusiastic I am about it. But he doesn't really watch movies or TV shows unless it's about Ruby. So we probably won't see him on here unless it's like a random, like about story-driven stuff. Like another thing we'd probably talk about is like the Grimdarks and like creepypastas.
Oh, because I could tell you for sure that I'm in one Grimdark.
like say, and this is just my personal thing that I want to talk about later, is something sweet to bite.
Something sweet to bite?
Yeah, it's a My Little Pony Grimdark based on the Candyman.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
like maybe Logic would probably pop in for that because it involves writing and story. I don't know, but that's pretty much long and short of what the podcast is going to be and why I called it Stalking Dead. Is just because one of the things that inspired me to do it is like Walking Dead type of stuff, because I did want to talk about Walking Dead, but I don't want it to be the main focus of it.
You want to bring its own variety and not just sticking with one thing, because it can only take you so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of seasons, a lot of spin-offs, a lot of stuff coming up for the show, and I'm just like, I'd rather that be its own topic and own podcast, like own topic in the podcast.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the explanation that you missed in the beginning because you weren't here. Anyways,
Alright, Desert Time.
Desert Samurai, your turn.
The only
What?
bisexual
Me.
person here.
What? I was in other fandoms too,
Oh, I thought you were just doing the one.
No.
Oh. Duct tape
Just
wasn't finished.
Oh, you weren't
I
done?
wasn't finished.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Whoops. We got sidetracked.
We went on a rabbit
Fucking
trail.
Whoops. So, that's basically the story of how this bastard got his duct tape. I wanted to kill this character for so long.
Why?
It's just that I hate that he's successful.
What?
He is suffering from the success of a joke character.
He's successing from a joke character. Like, how the fuck do you even begin with?
Like when
that?
when you hate your OC more than you hate yourself.
Fucking literally.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Anyways, duct tape, continue.
And I remember the time watching Golden Fox, and I was like, okay, he's one of my idols, and here he is. and I also remember the time when I commented on one of his streams for the very first time, and then he mentions me. I was like,
Oh, God.
shit. I was like, how does he know me? How the fuck does he know me?
Oh,
The simple answer is I just seen you everywhere and your character has tape on your mouth. I'm like, why?
It's duct tape. It's sort of
Well,
like
no.
it's sort of
well,
like
no, you're
when
not.
it's sort of like when one of the streams I was in with Golden, like you were commenting and everything, and he like complimented your editing, and you told me.
Oh, yeah, I
like,
remember that.
And you told me you were like fanboying.
Apparently, I am a very gifted editor, but the truth is that I never wanted to become a video editor. It wasn't my intention to become one,
Yeah,
nor is it my passion.
You told me about it on my
to
art
become
stream
one.
I had that one time.
Yeah, it's just that it just happened. Like, it was some type of opportunity that just came to me, and then everyone just like gives me compliments, and sometimes I can take it, sometimes I don't, but it's more like in the middle
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
It's sort of like also like that's also me. Like I watched Golden for a long time, and when I was in my friend's other server, we would like just binge watch all of Golden and Bliss's videos, and I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed a lot of the videos where you were in them with Keyframe. It was really cute. And then when I was able to actually join your server as a patron, I was very excited and very happy. But then I was also very nervous to meet you. Because I'm just like, my high energy might be too much for people. Because Logic says it all the time.
Yeah, because like apparently I worked with if everybody knows Bob Scribbler.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I worked with her for like 2 years, and every time she needs to vent, I'm her punching bag.
Oh.
So probably the people in the chat are probably gonna be like, "Why is she your punching bag?"
I mean,
Well,
why are
it's
you her
because
punching bag?
why are you her punching bag? Well, it's because I donated her money, even though I'm part of her team. But I didn't start that. It was somebody else, but she puts the blame on me.
Suspicious.
Because
I feel like it was more
she-
than likely you were more noticeable than the other person.
well, oh fuck, yeah, you're right.
He just realized this now.
You're more noticeable.
Yeah, because she thought I started it all when I clearly didn't. But
I mean,
I didn't donate the most money.
I
The
mean,
other person did.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
help
just
that
that
our
she
pony
can-
OCs
yeah.
like draw attention to other people.
Yeah, like when I put the duct when my pony didn't have the duct tape, he wasn't that recognizable. But when I put on the duct tape, he became most recognizable and became a success, and I fucking hate it.
It's like what Snickerman
Without the
said.
duct-
Yeah, it's the staple thing.
Yeah.
Without the
it's
duct tape, you're just
staple.
another pony. As soon as you put the duct tape on, it's duct tape.
I'm
We
su-
know him.
I'm surprised in general of how many people recognize my pony. I'm just like, she's just a generic alicorn with black and white on her. She's not that different from anyone else. Because I actually saw in one of the, I think it was one of the audio dramas. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Friendship is Tragic. I think I was binge watching it with Animality one time, and
Yeah, I'm in that one.
there was a freaking background pony that was an alicorn and black and white like me.
Oh God.
But it wasn't
I've-
me because the cutie mark
But it
was
wasn't
different.
you.
I'm like,
It was a different. Yeah.
I was like, it's an imposter.
I remember. I think I made an appearance in one of those episodes, and I think I made a reaction out of it where I was just like, I zoom in, and then I saw my OC, and it says you got tape, and I was like, oh my fucking god.
It's like also with like with Wolfhead's pony.
Oh
Like-
jeez, domino effect.
Yeah, he mentioned it once in a call we were in. He was like, "Oh my gosh, Shuka, your OC can cosplay as a female version of me." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Our mane and tail are both black and white." I'm like, "Oh god damn it."
I mean, I could make a quick
and-
Photoshop
oh,
edit and then just
no.
swap the
It
color.
looks more-
No, but like ever since then, people will now say it sometimes, and I'm just like, "Oh gosh, no." Now I'm
What
also...
makes it more? It just makes it all the more hilarious when you notice the color schemes between you and Logic.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like, editor had mentioned once, he's like, you guys are yin and yang, and I told that to Wolfhead, he's like, I hate it.
See, what's funny is the only time that people recognize me is when my OC is next to Wolfhead's, because I'm usually hanging out with Wolfhead.
Yeah,
And he doesn't even use my OC that much.
yeah.
No one does.
I feel like
I can't
also,
stop laughing
like-
over the fact that he made that video where he got his dick stuck in a
Yes.
Okay,
Look at a toaster.
so, context for those who don't know, me, Snick, and Wolfhead...
Eventually we will get around to desert.
me, me, Snick, and Wolfhead were in a call at like 6 in the morning because I woke up really early one day. It was on a weekend, or no, it's not on a weekend. It was on a day I didn't have work, so I didn't have to go in, and we were just having a conversation. And how did it bring up, Snick? Like the whole like toaster thing.
Wolfhead had mentioned his little joke post with the news, like
Oh,
breaking
yeah.
news thing. And eventually, I think I was the one who brought up the joke about getting your dick stuck in a toaster. And he was just like, yes, because that's totally what happens. I'm like, that should be a thing.
Yeah, and then he literally had asked me, he was like, oh, Shuka, can you like totally like send an audio recording of you saying, why'd you get your dick stuck in a toaster? And I'm like, sure. and then we showed him Logic, and he's just like, "What the hell?" Like, he's
That's literally like the same
like-
thing.
he's
Like,
like, "I'm
he
not
went into my
leaving-"
DMs.
He's like, "I'm not leaving you alone anymore with them."
He's like,
Wolfhead gave Shoka lines to record. I ad-libbed everything. There wasn't supposed to be a segment afterwards. I made that segment.
I remember the time where he went into my DMs and he was just like, "Hey, Duct Tape, can you record these lines for me?" I was just like, "Yeah, okay." So I recorded the lines, and then he sent me the full video that he finished. I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, so that's what you meant." Oh, I fucking hate this.
It's sort
Oh,
of
no.
like it's sort of
For
like
context,
how, like...
it's a video where me and Wolfhead were like trying to wonder what is the most disturbing or traumatic experience we've ever seen on the internet, and it was fucking Kermit with a huge ass, and he's just looking at me just like, "I'm so Karen."
Oh gosh, no.
And Kermit was voiced by fucking Wooten.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Yes.
Granted,
Yes!
I enjoy being around Wooten when I have conversations with him, but oh my gosh, his Kermit voice kills me. But like,
Wooten is a
I don't have any
wonderful
money.
it kind of also reminds me of how, like, ever since ever since Wolfhead made that video with me and Logic,
God, Angel, no.
like everyone under the sun, like, comments on it or like tells me about it, and I'm just like, oh gosh. And like,
He's mad at you because those pictures were private.
and then same thing with, like, because Despio saw that video and he laughed. He saw the one about the toaster and thought it was funny. And now that I'm starting to like branch out myself in the voice acting and everything, with like me doing Tombstone Oath with Drac, I'm like, okay, how this is gonna be very weird because one, I'm getting to know more people in that community now. Like, I'm getting to know Wooten a lot more, which is why we've done a lot of collabs recently. And then I already knew Quill and Lead, but like narrator kind of talks to me, not a whole lot. Mainly because he doesn't know me. He only knows me because I know Scribbler a little bit, because I'm in her server. But like,
Can't believe I'm her punching bag all this time.
but like,
Aw.
to get back to your comment, Golden, about like the whole the how my OC compliments Logic, I didn't notice it until we started dating. I was like, oh yeah, our OCs do compliment each other with their colors.
That was admittedly coincidental. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
like, I love how they compliment each other, and the fact that they work so well together in a lot of art pieces that I get for us now. And I'm just like, oh. And everyone will tell me like, oh, you guys are like the cutest couple in the fandom. I'm like, no, we are not.
I was like, I heard the news that Logic has a girlfriend. I was like, wait, what? I'm gonna Google that. Holy shit!
Just making the sound off of it.
I don't think we're like Google search though. I don't think so.
I want to see a clip of. Not a clip. I want to see a short animation of that. Just.
You're giving Duct Tape ideas.
Oh no!
You're giving me ideas.
Logic has a girlfriend? What? Shit.
It's like the bot thing again. Like, every time someone mentions it, they'll just pull that up, and I'm just like, oh gosh.
It's so short. It's so simple. It's so stupid, but it's great.
The fact that
I made that
he
out of
doesn't-
boredom because, like, I said to Shuka, "Hey, can you give me your vector pack?" Oh, okay. I made that. That's what I did.
That's like the same thing that Wolfhead did. He's like, hey, can you give me your vector packs? I'm like, sure. He's like, okay. I'm like, what are you gonna do with them? He's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna worry about it.
Don't worry about
And then
it.
he sent me the clip of the TikTok, and I'm like, oh god, no. And then he showed us
Yeah.
Logic, and Logic's just like, and I'm like, oh gosh, you got Logic going now. Good job.
Speaking of vector packs, it's funny. I have both versions of Wolfhead. I have all of Shoka's most recently. I have a few for Toxic and Nightfall. I have one for a very old friend that I haven't heard from in ages, named Melody. I have Logic's entire vector pack. I have a few for Felix, and then I have 2 images for Blitz.
Blitz doesn't have a whole lot of vectors, though.
You know, here's the funny thing. I received a fuck ton of vector packs. So when I was like I was bored one day.
Oh, after this, we'll go
And-
to Desert Samurai for his.
It's all good. It's
He's
all
been
good.
waiting forever.
It's
I'm
good.
sorry.
Don't worry. No worries,
Yeah.
because I like listening to people. I like listening to everybody of what they like and dislike. So it's all good.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
So like
So,
I was bored one day. I went to Scribbler and I was like, "Hey, I'm bored, so I want to make a video of you doing bloopers, if that's okay. If you could send me a vector pack." Sure. Instead of sending her vector pack, she sends the whole plethora of vector packs from Oblivion for, and I was like, "But I asked you to give me a vector pack." She said, "You'll thank me later." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, and moving on from that, not only am I in the MLP fandom, I'm also in 3 other fandoms. So the other one, which I'm currently I'm most known of both fandoms specifically. I'm in the MLP fandom. I'm in the Splatoon fandom because I love the game. I also make content on that one, where I use Blender and just make Splatoon renders on it. You know. I also had my main account. The Bluish Pony is just my other account. My main account is Bluegi, like BLUGI, and it has 2.09k subscribers, more than my Bluish Pony.
Oh
channel.
my gosh.
Ooh.
Yep. Well, at least my pony channel has reached 1k, and I had to explain the lore because I promised.
pardon me. Totally not just searching this up now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I blend in with the Splatoon fandom more than the MLP fandom because it's much simpler or much easier for me to communicate with. Because here's the thing, I did stay away from the Splatoon fandom for a long time until someone brought me back in, and now I'm more active than in the MLP fandom, which I gotta finish some shit in the MLP fandom. So then the other one is the D&D fandom.
Yes.
Yes. So in high school, after high school, like and on Tuesday afternoons after high school, we go to my friend's house and we play some fucking D&D. And it was great. And we will have like dinner, and it was pretty delicious. And then we stopped after we finished our 5 years of high school,
Oh wow.
and everyone just split apart. Like,
Aw.
I don't have contact with them anymore because we never gave each other our contacts.
You're all doing your own thing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, doing our own thing. Until a year later, they found me.
I
And I
found
was like,
you.
holy shit! Holy shit! I haven't talked to you in like a while. And how's it been? Oh, where do you live now? Oh, Dunedin. Holy shit! I'm 1 hour away from you. Yeah. So I was gonna do this D&D campaign, but it's been put on hold because the DM is busy with their job, their college,
Yeah, college is
and
a lot.
so
Yes.
it's a series. It's up on YouTube right now. So if you search up Fireblight D&D, I'm the human monk who seems to have a love affair with a dragon.
Excuse me?
Monks are very powerful.
Wait, we're just
Yeah.
gonna skim over the fact that you have a loving relationship with a dragon.
His love interest is a dragon. Yes, let's move on with to the more
Let's
important
move
part.
on with
He's
that.
a freaking
Yeah, what the
human
fuck?
monk.
Let's move on with that and just search up Five by D&D. You'll see that people will say I'm a funny person just playing this human monk, which he has nunchucks.
Oh.
So his name is His name is Olin.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it's a combat. So his name is Olin, and so if I could describe his character perfectly, he has brown hair, but like with white hair at the side. He has muscles, and he has a best friend named Ruffin. And I won't go into full detail on how these two met because I'm pretty sure that episode hasn't come out yet, so I'm not going to spoil that one.
Mm.
And he hangs out with Ruffin, and then these two joined the group that they've been like traveling down to place to place, and now they're part of the group. And now he's the element of wind.
Ah.
Yeah, so he has wind powers that he never knew that he had. So, of course, sometimes the DM will just bash themselves for making this story up, and I'll be into his DMs and I'll be like, "You're a great DM, don't you fucking dare bash yourself! God damn it!"
See,
Yeah.
I can understand both sides of it because as someone who has DM'd multiple campaigns, half the content that I pull for the campaign is just out my butt.
As long as you're following the rule book or the guides of D&D.
I follow the important parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Should we?
And now we go to the last fandom, which is my favorite horror TV show of all time, Supernatural.
Oh, I forgot that has a fandom.
Yes, that has a fandom. It's
How do you
fucking
forget
weird.
that Supernatural has a fandom?
I haven't watched Supernatural before. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
okay. You need
okay.
to sit your tail down and watch Supernatural.
Sit my tail down.
Yes.
Yes. Watch seasons 1 to 5. Those are the very great seasons of Supernatural.
After season 5, you can leave alone. Even the actors are just like, don't really care about everything after. Just watch the first 5.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah, just-
important bits.
Those are the important bits before the creator of that show left.
And then the company that kept the show going just milked it for all they could.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so just watch seasons 1 to 5. But let me tell you, the Supernatural fandom is so fucking weird.
The actors are hilarious, even
Like-
Offset.
Like duct tape. Can we disagree? Every fandom in itself can be weird at some points.
Well, in most cases, yes, but this is the
This is a
fandom
whole
I've ever
different
played with.
level of weird.
This is a whole different level of
Okay,
weird
You're
shit.
gonna have to explain that later to me.
They fucking ship Dean and Castiel. Like, oh, what the fuck?
I mean,
The fans convinced the actors themselves that they should be together.
okay,
And
yeah.
they're
I
like, "You
think
know
at
what?
one
Sure."
point, the episode even references the fandom.
Oh gosh.
Yes. But I think that was after season 5.
No, I think it was season 3.
Was it?
I'm trying to remember. It was either season 3 or season
It's been too
4.
long.
Yeah, it's
We'll
been too
figure this out later.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll figure
have
this later.
We'll have a separate call on my server later for this discussion.
Yeah, so those are the 4 fandoms I'm in. The MOP fandom, which I'm famous, of course. The Splatoon fandom, famous. The D&D fandom, not famous. And the Splatoon, not the Supernatural fandom, fucking weird.
Okay.
But now
We're-
that I have explained my lore, if everybody knows me, which I'm pretty sure half of the people do, you now know the
And if
reason
anyone
behind the
needs you
duct tape.
to repeat it, just send them the link to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants to know my story, I'll send you the link to the podcast.
After I upload
And if you
it
don't
to
like
my
it,
channel.
I'll probably make a video.
After I upload it to my channel, we will send the link.
Yeah.
But
So now we'll
we're
move on to
now we're moving
Desert.
on to our final guest, which is Desert Samurai.
Yeah. Okay.
Are only bipedal.
Only bipedal
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, this humanoid looking ass.
Yeah, see, this is the reason why I'm last, because you ponies went first. I'm the only one who's getting shit on because I'm
I
different.
knew he was going to make it about Ranger.
Hey! I wanted to be last, but the coin flip.
We gave you
course
the
had to fuck
options.
We gave
You
you,
said no.
we gave you an option of who wanted to go last.
me. No, you said that we were gonna do a coin flip.
Yeah, because you both wanted to go last, and I didn't want to like have you guys arguing.
All right, Desert, go.
Okay. So when it comes to most fandoms, there isn't like much that I am part of. One of the main shows that I did start off of that did get me into like becoming a fan of anything of when I was like a little child and growing up until now that I'm an adult is freaking Power Rangers for once.
Go Power Rangers.
I have no shame. It sparked my love for giant monsters and giant robots at the same time, and I freaking love it.
You and Joey would get along very well.
Oh, definitely.
Got another phone call. Sorry.
Definitely. Oh, okay. And of course, once when Power Rangers was becoming pretty much of like a just for me to pick up either now or later, I got into watching anime. Some of the stuff that I still remember back in the day was like watching Rurouni Kenshin, Inuyasha, Yu Yu
Oh my
Hakusho.
god, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, even
Yes.
the good days of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball that
Yes.
was on Toonami. And he even got me to watching other animes back then, like Zoids and Big O.
Those are shows that I haven't seen in ages.
Oh, I'm still trying to like rewatch some of those old animes.
You remember Reboot?
Oh yes.
We don't talk
You need
about
a box of tissues there?
Oh,
Jeez.
I remember Reboot because it was created by the same people who did Beast Wars.
I also grew up watching Power Rangers, so I can agree on that. Like, I love the original Power Rangers. I watched up until Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Then I skipped the other ones, and then came back for Dino Thunder.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
I like the
I
like the dinosaur
I
ones.
think I was listening to the podcast. Don't worry. I think that most of the Power Ranger shows were filmed in my country.
I think.
Yeah.
I know some of them
As
were
I'm
also
pretty-
filmed in Japan. I think. Like they took scenes, I
yeah.
know they took scenes from Japan.
Yeah, they took stock footage from the original TV show called Super Sentai. Many of them have like different various names, and I don't want to go through the list because many of them will just be listed off. Because if you're going for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first one with the dinosaurs, then that would be Kyoryu Sentai Ju Ranger. And then going off the rest of the list, we got Dai Ranger, Gaku Ranger, what were the other ones after that? Blarg. There's so many of them, it's hard to like freaking keep up because they have like almost close to like 50 seasons of each team in Japan for Super Sentai. That's like
Yeah.
more than that's like more than Power Rangers ever has.
You know, for a moment there, I thought you were going to say the other word, and we're going to have a problem.
What other word?
You know.
You know.
I don't.
I don't want to say it on Twitch. Please don't make me say it on Twitch.
I mean, you can type it down. I mean, you can type it down in DMs. Like, I don't care.
Okay, I'll just DM it to you, and you'll see why we're gonna have
Okay.
a problem.
Oh boy. I heard
Oh,
some
there
of
it
the
is.
stuff being delivered to the front door.
Oh God, no, not that. No.
Post it in the freaking voice chat.
Yeah. That way I can.
Because no, I'm curious.
I'm curious as well what you thought it was.
Oh God!
Not safe. Not safe for
Definitely.
work.
Nope. Moving on.
Moving
Moving
on.
on.
Although I don't know if that thing is real. Actually, I do know that there.
It
Although I
better
do know
not be
that there is a
fucking
character-
real.
No, but I can definitely scar you with something else. There is a comedy vigilante called. You know, I can't actually freaking say it because it's a little bit too weird. And the last time somebody looked that shit up, they came to me and were like, "What the hell is this?" And I'm like, "Oh God, you saw that too, did you?
Once again,
Did you find it
post
funny?"
in the
And she
chat.
was like, "No, I cried." And I'm like, "Oh, you poor thing."
You poor thing.
Once again, post it in the chat. What is it?
Oh God.
Gosh.
I can't type it down. I can't type it down because my microphone is like right in front of my keyboard, and I don't want to like start typing because you guys would hear it.
Yeah, because like
So?
you're like breaking into the mainframe.
Breaking into the mainframe.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's just finding out our locations. We're totally safe.
We're all
Those
safe here.
stuff. Oh God.
Well, of course, I'm here.
Oh my god.
But
But yeah, animes. Yeah, I got into a large portion of animes, including Mobile Fire G Gundam. If anybody remembers that shit,
Sounds familiar.
You said the what?
Mobile Fire G Gundam.
No, I was never really a fan of Gundam.
Fair enough.
I've never,
Yeah, me neither.
I've never watched it because
I was more.
I'm not really I don't watch a lot of animes.
I don't watch a lot of animes either, but my favorite one is Kuroko no Basuke.
Except for that one anime that was it Continuum that showed us. The one about the AI robot.
The one with the AI robot.
Be right back.
Snick, wait, no, Snick, you're the one that knows what it is.
You got left behind.
Shit.
I can't remember what the
God
name of this anime is, but
damn.
it's like an AI robot, and she like sings, but then they use her singing to like, make all the other AIs go nuts and kill people.
Yeah,
I can't
I don't
remember
watch a lot
for
of
the life of me what it is.
Oh no.
I don't watch a lot. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of anime either
But,
as well, except for Kuroko no Basuke,
Yeah.
Daily Lives of
The
High
only-
Schoolboys.
I think the
Monster
only
Musume,
animes I
Dragon Ball
watch
Z. Oh shit!
The only animes I watch are obviously Pokemon, but Digimon.
Same.
When you,
Wait. Pokemon's an anime?
Yes.
Yeah.
It originated in Japan.
Where did you think it was from?
New Zealand.
No, not New Zealand. Why the fuck would New Zealand just create a Pokemon anime?
That was
But,
such a fucking guess. Holy shit.
There's also I don't. Is Yu-Gi-Oh considered an anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh is considered an anime,
I can-
and it's also an anime that I deeply love and love the card game.
I can never remember if it's considered anime because like some people say that certain things are not anime even though they have the same style, which gets really confusing.
I'm literally hearing the "You are an idiot."
Gosh. And then we have Hamtaro.
Yeah. I remember watching that on Tsunami
I
back.
swear when I was at Battlescon and I had my table and I was selling my buttons, everyone was buying the Hamtaro button sets and buttons. I'm just like, Hamtaro is big again. I'm making
It's
him.
Hamtaro
I'm
time.
I'm bringing Hamtaro back. And then I'm starting to get more into Fruits Basket.
Hell yes.
The original Fruits Basket, not the remake. Um,
Ah.
as it is, Fruits Basket in general is just a weird show. Because if you hug the opposite gender, you get turned to a zodiac animal. It's really weird.
Does anybody else remember Bo?
Oh, I love that one.
I guess I can kind of say I used to watch Dragon Ball Z a lot growing up because it was on Saturday morning cartoons.
I watched the Ocean dub because that's what I grew up from before the
Yeah,
Funimation.
I grew up on the English dub that they had on Saturday morning cartoons. And then
Was it the Funimation or was it the?
I don't know, just the English dub that I grew up with. Um, and then there's also, I don't know if you guys know what this show is, but Dinosaur King.
Dinosaur King is what you
Yep.
wanna be. Yeah.
Yeah, funny thing about this show, and when I got into it, when I first watched it was on Saturday morning cartoons, same day as Dragon Ball Z. I started watching it, and it was one of those I was waiting for my dad to pick me up, and I was watching it, and my mom came into the room. She was watching it with me. She's like, "Why are you watching Pokemon?" I'm like, "This is not Pokemon."
It's Dragon Ball Z.
No, I was talking about Dinosaur King.
Oh, Dinosaur King.
Yeah, my mom thought that Dinosaur King was the exact same as Pokemon. I'm like, it is not.
Unless you watch Digimon.
This is what happens when you try to explain fandoms and all that to your parents. You're like, what is this?
Okay,
So what-
yeah. So apparently, adults would get that mixed up between like Pokemon and
Yeah.
Digimon and Monster Rancher and of course Dinosaur King and probably
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh for that matter.
Yeah. And I know that when I started getting it back into My Little Pony and everything, my mom and my stepdad are very, very, like, supportive of it. Because I know that I like horses and I know that it was something I already grew up with. But oh my gosh, my dad and stepmom, they did not like it when I was getting back into My Little Pony after not being a part of it for a long time. They were just like, they were like, why are you getting back into My Little Pony? You're like 24 years old. You should not be like liking it at this age. I'm like, I could be liking other things at this point that are worse.
Plus, I'm 24 years
Drugs.
old. Fuck you. I can like what I want.
Oh, Snick, since you're back, what's that one anime that I was talking about? The one with the AI robot about singing.
Oh, shoot! Blitz was the one who brought us into that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I can't remember what it is because I wasn't the one who was hosting the showings of them.
I just
Damn,
know, I just
Blitz
know,
was.
I just know that it like the last episode we watched of it, like it hit us in the feels.
But the entire series is just a time lapse of historical events with AIs growing in power and stuff, and certain events having to be altered.
Yeah.
So it's like if we can figure out what it's called, we'll have to talk to Blitz.
Yeah, it will come to us later, and then we'll post about it. But
yeah.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought it would be
Also-
fun to. Oh, we lost Golden.
Golden
Yeah,
head to
he
dip.
said he's gonna shower.
Oh,
Nah.
okay. Well,
Fuck you, Airplane, you son of a bitch!
but I guess I could have just like said like thank you to Golden for joining us. But like, I will let him know that after the stream's over. But just so you guys all know, I'm gonna update you guys on the gaming situation on the podcast while I'm at it.
Which I already know because she needed my help on something.
Yeah. So I showed Snick this earlier. I have a new stream overlay. I'm not gonna show it because it would be,
Spoilers.
But it's more aesthetically appealing to my brand now. I still have to find a transition for it. Because the one I have for the podcast does not want to it doesn't work with the new layout for the gaming. But I went back to my USB capture card that I had because right now, until I can get another computer to download the program I need for the audio, I cannot use the capture card I bought. So
Um,
I still have the capture card. I just can't use it.
Yep.
But I'm hoping to maybe. I'm hoping on Thursday if I can get people into the stream, we can finish Doki Doki because Jesse said we're almost done with Doki Doki.
yeah.
Yep.
We're getting to the point where we're getting closer to the end. And then maybe on Saturday I'll start doing Pokemon again. I just thought it would be nice to do a different stream to kind of be a little different. And then once I find a schedule that works for everyone, I could put a schedule down for the podcasts of when we're going to do them.
Yeah.
But until then, we're going to have to think about, or the people in the call here who, if they would want to be part of the next podcasts when we talk about our favorite horror movies, they would have to think about what theirs would be. Remember, we're picking our 3 favorites. And then just let me know if you'd want to be a part of it so I can, like, know ahead of time to get our models and all that ready. Also, just making sure that we have only a max of 5 people now at this point in the call, because if we had more than 5,
Because it seems to be the most reasonable amount of people, and like you don't want 10 because obviously that would just fuck up your entire screen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like limiting
Not only would your
to
computers start burning, but
yeah, but like 5 to 6 people I said would be enough because I did that on my podcast like last
and I
week.
think with the layout that I have right now, and then just move around the characters when we're in a call before the stream starts, I have time to like move them around, and get that situated and everything. So that way, I think 5 people max in a call would be fine. But yeah, thank
Why
you
did
all
my
for...
friend just send me a DM with a picture
wait.
of the Fourth Doctor saying "prepare your anus"?
Yes, Dancer Samurai?
I forgot to mention of how I got into the MLP fandom.
Oh yeah, you might as well say that because we're all MLP fans.
Yeah,
exactly.
because
Exactly.
okay, so like I said, fan of like all these other shit, and I've been familiar with MLP for a while when I was like a little kid, mainly because of Dexter's Laboratory giving out the hints of just making references to G.I. Joe and My Little Pony and all that. So
A
at the point,
fanciful unicorn.
yeah,
Yay!
at one point I was not particularly that big into MLP back in the day. At one point I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever to it. But and it kind of like drove me to one point where I decided not to just watch it entirely because I got very pissed off at this one troll whose username was pretty much just an MLP character, like just just like some of the users that are like always just floating around with the name of like Twilight Sparkle, Fluttershy, and all that crap.
Yeah.
You know,
And it kind of like ticked me off a little bit to where I immediately said, "Okay, fuck this. I'm not gonna watch My Little Pony if this is what these bastards are like." And it got me to the point in my life where I was like, I should really stop being mad at people who, well, even though they are like this, I shouldn't be angry at some of the stuff that they are like showing off. Like I can be mad at the person who was trolling me, but I can't be mad at like My Little Pony because of this guy. So I immediately said, okay, I'm gonna give like My Little Pony a shot or whatever. And what kind of got me into like the fandom was watching this 2-part special from Wombu and Josh Scorcher when they were reviewing Phoenix Wright. spirit of justice. Yeah, that's what got me into the. Yeah, that's what kind of drove me into the freaking fandom and came to where I get to meet you guys. Apparently, no cap, but like, uh, it was during around when Friendship is Magic was like halfway there of being done. Like right after the whole Starlight Glimmer fiasco was going down, and and everybody was singing praises of like Starlight Glimmer now finally being a good guy, and everybody was using that one meme of Glim Glam and the, you know,
Yeah.
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 yeah. So that's where I kind of got in. I didn't decide to call myself a brony because I might as well just call myself an MLP fan because I thought the show was okay, so were the specials, so I didn't like dive in that deep. And of course, if it wasn't for MLP, I wouldn't be able to make such interesting and creative friends along the way. I drop
Yeah.
off their names, but I figured not to. But of course, I also got to meet you guys as well.
Yep.
And of course, if it wasn't for this freaking fandom, my internet sister wouldn't have given me my very own Pony OC.
You know.
Yeah, the reason why you guys are only seeing the human OC and not the Pony OCs because one, the two arts that I have of my Pony OC are not exactly like their vectors at all. Like some of them were just like two of them were just like one of them was made from like a pony crayer, something fancy that makes all the little pony OCs look cutesy, and another one was done by Myth Pony, just out of like like just sheer charity. And it's just so I was like, okay, this is actually pretty damn good. And another thing is because none of the two arts have like a transparent background. So that's why I had to stick with my human OC right here.
Well, to be fair, Myth is an extremely talented artist. So.
Oh, damn straight she is. I will give her praise for that. I will give her praise for that. Same thing with a lot of other artists that are in the MLP fandom that I will say are very damn good.
Like, if it hadn't been for me getting back into MLP, I wouldn't have met my friends like J-Rog, who's like one of my longest friends in the fandom.
Hearing your stories, like how joining in the fandom, it's such bullshit to me because you guys just joined the fandom because you were interested in it. I had to join the fandom by getting forced to watch the show because I lost a fucking bet in high school. This is such bullshit.
Because, like, when I joined the fandom, like, when I met my friends in my original server I was part of, which I'm no longer a part of, I met J-Rog there and Anna Melody, so they became one of my first friends in the fandom that were internet friends, and I kind of became like their sister, fandom sister. And then like I told you guys before, like I had watched Golden's content for a long time, became a Patreon of his, and then started going in Patreon calls and meeting other people there. And when I joined Wooten's free server, or not free server, when I joined Wooten's Discord server, I met more people there too. Like I met Editor there, who then invited me to one of their servers, which is, lo and behold, where I met Logic. And then through Logic, I met people like Snick and Wolfhead, Continuum, V, and then through other people I met.
I am a terrible.
You're not a terrible influence. But like, I even got
whoever's a terrible influence, it's me.
Like, I even got the chance to meet some people while I was at BabsCon this last year, which is surprising that they were able to recognize me, even though I'm not a really recognizable person. I had people come up to me saying, like, oh, I saw you in Golden Streams. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm being known. No, I want to go hide. And then some people...
If we're going to talk about how we got to...
Like some people...
got through our friends.
Like, some people even, like, mention, like, I'm gonna bring this up because it's still funny. So DeWill Snyder, or Thespio, he at BabsCon, he was helping Bliss set up her table, and I went over to say hi to Bliss, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Thespio," and he's like, "Oh, hi." He's like, "Oh, you're Logic's girlfriend," and I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I met you last year too, before I started dating Logic." He's like, "Oh, I did?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Way you go, Thespian boy.
But like, and then some people will just recognize me now as Logic's girlfriend, and I'm just like, oh no, why am I being known? Like, I don't know if
I'm being known for the wrong reason.
I'm like, I don't know if I like being known for like being a part of Golden Fox's streams on a regular basis now, or like I'm dating Logic. It's like I'm not used to it. I'm not used to being known, and so people will just be like, "Oh, it's Chuka," and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I want to go hide."
Yeah, if we're talking about how we got through to the friends that we're with now, it's like I started off in the fandom knowing absolutely no one, and I got the first thing that got anyone's attention was the fact that I had managed to get a hold of one person way back in the day. I don't remember what their tag is now, but they gave me free art based off of the first piece of art that I got for my OC, which was done by an artist named Naifukuz. And the person who got me my OC as a Twitter icon, they kind of disappeared and then reappeared, and it would happen fairly frequently. The first person that I actually managed to start talking to was actually someone who did reactions. Blank Check. I actually got to chat with them and Brony Physicist or something like that. And I got to talk to those two somewhat frequently on Twitter before they got extremely busy with their real lives. And through Blank Check, I appeared on Double Play's feed a couple times, and I got talking with him. He invited me into his server with the help of Cusick, and then the server disappeared. But I had made enough of an impression between Cusick, Crimson Solstice, and Felix that they invited me into V's server, where I met most of my other friends. And it wasn't until one of the days where I was having some issues with some of the people that were in the general call, and they were like, well, we feel bad for leaving him in there. Let's go ahead and pull him into this secretive chat, and the rest is history. I met Logic because of that. I became closer friends with Wolfhead. I managed to go to BronyCon 2019.
Oh, the last one?
I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but I managed to go to that one. I spent a lot of time with Wolfhead and Toxic.
Oh, the last one.
I got to meet Melee and V in person, as well as obviously Toxic and Wolfhead. But it's like there I also got to hang out with Rigo, the guy behind Watch Pony.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. But
oh yeah, I know that guy.
What was I going to say? Oh, Wolfhead, while we were walking around at BronyCon, came across NY and Keyframe, and he introduced me. And it was basically one of those, people who are quote-unquote celebrities, like the stereotypical celebrity experience of, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to know you're a fan. And then moving on with the conversation. Yes, I know they are not celebrities. Yes, I know how they feel when people think of them as that. That's basically how the interaction for me ended up being, because they both looked at me, they're like, oh, hi, and then they went back to their conversation with Wolfhead, and then they walked off, and I'm just like, I was just the wallpaper, don't mind me. Wolfhead was dying because he's just like, yeah, that was kind of funny, not gonna lie.
I love interactions sometimes with people because like it's funny, like especially at BabsCon, like once I started realizing I interacted a lot now with Golden and them, like it's funny. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to take a picture of you. I'm like, what? Like, no. And then like certain people were just like, they're just like, like, oh my gosh, we get to meet you in person. I'm like, I'm not that special. No.
Yeah.
Like I'm just a
I
vendor.
think
I'm just a vendor.
if I plan to go to like a PonyCon, you'll just see me wearing the duct tape just to
like over your
just
mouth,
to like over my mouth. You'll see me just like arrive to PonyCon with duct tape over my mouth and my badge with my pony OC.
Yeah.
I bet people are just gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Like meeting Melee in person was so much fun. Like the last year when she made my badge, my original badge. And then when I saw Melee again this last year to get the badge for me and Logic, like it was so much fun seeing her again. Like it's so much fun seeing people that I already knew before like meeting you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like especially when, because like most of the time at BabsCon I've hung out mostly with Bliss and them, and with Riley and with Master Code and them. Like we just pretty much were like a group that just hung out, which was very nice of them to let me hang out with them because they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm dating Logic and everything, that they're friends with him, but like they didn't have to let me join them. It was completely optional for them. But they let me anyways. It was very fun to hang out with them and talk with them and get to know them more. And then now like I talk to them on a regular basis, it seems like, and like calls with Golden and everything. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially with like you guys, like when I talk to you guys privately or like when I'm in a call with you guys in respective servers, like it's just so much fun because of all the stupidity that we go through.
Yeah.
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 Basically, it's more of my stupidity.
One other interaction that I had at BronyCon that I felt really bad for, I managed to actually see and talk to for a very short moment Josh Scorcher.
Oh my gosh. Okay, after you're done
I
talking about
felt
this,
so
I have to talk about my experience with Josh. Like it's so funny.
I felt so bad because I shook his hand and accidentally hurt him a
Oh
bit
my gosh.
because
What?
he had just finished a panel with some other folks playing Prancer.
Oh no. That's
So when I shook his hand, I shook the hand that got hurt the most. And I shook his hand. He's like, ah. I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, you're fine. I just got done with playing Prancer.
Oh my gosh.
I thought I actually injured him just by shaking his hand, and I'm like, oh God, I'm too strong for like half the people here. No. I love Josh's content, so it was really cool that I got to say hi to him.
Yeah, I have to bring up my first year at BabsCon. So like last year was my first year going to a pony convention at all, and it was BabsCon. Like no duh, but when I first met Bliss, it was funny. Like she was standing behind us in the registration line to get our badges, so we talked and all that, and then I gave her the art piece I gave her because I like giving people art when I meet them in person because it's kind of a special thing. And then
Hey, Blue Griffin.
it's funny because afterwards I was like, oh, I saw him for his shadow earlier, but like he's probably too busy. I made him some art, but he probably is too busy to take it. And then she's like, she sees Shadow, Inverted Shadow, from across the room and yells, Shadow, come over here. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Blue Griffin, I feel your pain.
And like, Shadow comes over, and Bliss is like, Shadow, she's got something to give you. And I'm like, oh gosh, Bliss, why'd you do this? and then she was like, and Shadow was like, yeah? And I'm like, I hand him the picture that I drew of the Cutie Mark monsters from Elements of Insanity. And he was like, oh my gosh. And so, like, I'm still waiting for this vlog to come out. It hasn't come out at all yet, and I'm kind of surprised. But it's like, he took out his camera, started vlogging me as I was giving him the art, which was weird in itself. I'm not used to being vlogged. And I'm like, oh gosh. And then he tagged me on Twitter, and then tagged me on DeviantArt, and I'm just like, oh gosh, I'm being known again. No.
Yes.
It's like.
Oh, hey, you're the person from this other person's thing.
But like, it's funny when I met Josh.
Please
like,
know me for me, not these other people.
It's funny when I met Josh. It was so funny. Like, I gave him art, like I gave everyone else. I was handing him the art. He goes to almost sign it. I'm like, no, this is for you. You keep it. And he's like, oh, it is. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'll have you sign the TF2 one though. But like, oh my gosh, that was like the funniest reaction I've ever had from someone. Because like, he was gonna sign his own art that I was giving. I'm like, no, you keep this.
This is for you, not for me.
But like, it's funny because then also like, if you look at this last year's BabsCon vlogs from Mastercode, when he's like vlogging, and like he's like vlogging Thespio and Bliss, turns the camera towards me, I'm just like not paying attention to the camera. Because like, I'm still not used to being vlogged. And so I'm just like, I'm not going to look at the camera because I don't want to be on camera. I'm still nervous about being on camera with other people. And I was talking to Riley at the same time, so I was just like, I need to pretend I'm doing something because I'm nervous to talk. I'm nervous to be on camera.
Oh no.
Like,
oh, no.
And like, Logic saw it, and he's like, babe, why were you not looking at the camera? I'm like, I was nervous. I didn't know Master Code was vlogging. And he's like, how do you not know someone's vlogging when they have a camera in front of you? I'm like, I didn't know it was on.
Oh yeah, I also got to meet Toucan.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
What is that guy doing nowadays?
It was.
I'm not sure how he's doing it of late, but I do remember when we were standing around waiting for some of the people in the group to show up because we were going to do a meet and pick a few pictures. Toucan was trying to show off the muscles that he had. He had this huge weight in his hand, like one of those dumbbells from the hotel's weight room. I'm like, oh, let me see that. He's like, you sure? Because keep in mind, I am a fat person. It's very obvious that I am overweight.
Dude, same here. Like 3.
He's like, are you sure? You're going to need a second hand for that. I'm like, no, just stand it over. And he dropped it in my hand. My hand didn't move very far, and I just started doing curls with it. And everyone that was there was staring at me like, what? Why is this larger dude pulling the same weight as this man with muscles for days? I work retail, folks. I work retail.
Yeah.
I regularly have to pick up 40 packs of water every day.
Oof.
It's funny, like, once you start getting, like, around in the fandom more, like, and you start going to conventions, and people start noticing who you are, like, and they start, like, asking for, like, pictures or, like, to vlog you or something, it's like, oh, no.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what that's what I'm afraid of if I
You're
go to a
afraid
pony
to be
convention.
known.
Yes, because I never wanted to become famous in the first place, but it's too late for that now.
My thing is it depends on what people know me for. If people only know me because of the people I hang out with, no, I don't want to be known for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's because of who I am, like the kind of person I am, the stuff that I do personally, then okay.
Like,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I guess like with
Yeah,
me,
that's
it's,
fine.
For me, it's
But like, I don't want to be known as the guy that worked for Scribbler. I don't want to be known as the guy who banged his knee one time on that fucking blooper.
You don't want to
Literally,
be known
everyone's
as
just
the
like-
guy who
everyone's-
was playing a character in a game, sounding like they were talking in the bathroom.
I don't want to
Yes,
be known
I
as
will
that
keep bringing
either.
that up.
Because like people, my friends and most people in the FIT chat keeps fucking bringing up the knee.
That's understandable.
It's
I
like,
guess, I guess
it's-
you're not a big fan of Skyrim then.
It is much better than one of the like short clips that I came across from one of the VTubers. It's like I'm scrolling Instagram's little video feed things, and all of a sudden I come across a VTuber thing, and I just hear thunk. Ah! I just smashed my dick into the table. His companion VTuber was a chick who's just like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" But that's the first thing you hear. It's just a loud, and he starts screaming in pain because he smashed his dick.
See, like the context for that knee was that I was doing my voice acting gig for
Yeah.
a certain someone, but the blooper that got famous was of course the knee one. So like I was like going, oh, and you remember I accidentally lifted my knee to the desk and like bam, and I scream and cry like a bitch for 10 minutes.
Oh no!
like, I can say this right now.
And that's
like,
what makes me popular. Are you
Oh
fucking
my
kidding me?
god!
Oh no!
I can tell you right now, whenever the Tombstone Oath book 1 is finished, like, Drax said she's gonna like release like the bloopers from it, because God knows there's gonna be a whole lot of bloopers from the recording, especially me, since I've never done voice acting before this. One of the things you'll hear, one of the very first lines I recorded for Rain, I swear I combined it like "Hello, Officer Wolf" together, and it came out "Wofficer."
It's the one that you keep bringing up, and I love
And
it.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hello, Officer Wolf.
And then I sent it to Drac, because I'm like, oh gosh, you're gonna have to cut the blooper out, aren't you? She listened to it, she's like, oh my gosh, that's like the funniest blooper I've ever heard. I'm saving it for the blooper reels. I'm like, oh god, no.
You know, the funny thing is, when I was watching that video that I voiced in, I had the most bloopers out of everyone. And my most famous one is the fucking knee, because nobody knows any other blooper of mine. It's just the fucking knee that's the famous one.
It's like, I feel like nowadays, it's like, I know it's not a bad thing, but like, the fact that
To me,
No,
they
I mean-
they made a meme out of it for 2 weeks.
I mean,
They made a fucking meme of my knee for 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh my god, you people.
I mean, like, I guess it's not a bad thing, but like, it kind of is when you think about it. Like, when we're known for certain things, like
Yeah.
with you with like the knee or the bathroom thing, it's like, I
Or
it
the
was like,
Scribbler punching bag one.
yeah, or with me now being known for like being a patron of Golden, or being in his streams now, or being Logic's girlfriend. Like, I know it's not a bad thing to be known for those things, but like, when you're only noticed because of that, it's like, I don't want to be known just for that. Can you also
Yeah, because
kind
like
of know me
I
for
have
like my personality and how funny I am with my games? Like,
yeah,
now,
like
now I can stupid laugh over anything.
yeah, like I'm a guy who just wants to create content for fun, like for entertaining people to the day I die. I don't want to be known as the guy who just banged his knee because he's a stupid fucking idiot.
Or the guy who had hiccups.
Oh my god. There's gonna be so many things I'm known for. They're just gonna be like, oh, you're the guy who hiccuped. Oh, you're the guy who banged his knee. Oh, you're the guy who scribbles punching bag. Oh, you're the guy who fucks up all the time.
Oh, you're the guy who had the voice overlay that was like in the bathroom.
Oh, hey, are you the
Yeah.
guy with the duct tape on his mouth?
Yes, that's me. That's what
Okay.
I'm being. That's what I want to be known for. The guy who has duct tape on his mouth.
I'm like, I guess I'm now known also as like the alicorn who has an orca on her butt. Because
Or
I get
the fucking Dorka.
The orca cord.
the Dorka. Great.
The orca.
I'm pretty sure you all heard me leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
For
didn't think you
fuck's
we didn't
sakes.
think we didn't think you actually left, which was hilarious.
But then we heard the door slam, and then we were like, "Oh shit, he did!"
Anyways, we should probably stop the podcast while we're here because we're at 2 hours.
Yeah, might be good.
Yeah, my bad.
But like I said before, next time we're gonna talk about our favorite horror movies. So if you guys want to be a part of that in the call, get your 3 favorite movies ready. And then
You joined in way too late, Angel.
I know. I came here specifically for the end.
well, you're not gonna be seen
Yeah.
on the stream because you don't have a little model, but
And I should have one on.
yeah, but you have to make it on the website and then send it to me as a link.
Either way.
Egg.
Also,
These nuts.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Terrence, for
Of
Venom
course.
for noticing like how much fun I've made the streams, and sorry Wolfhead, sorry that we're ending the stream. You should have been here if you wanted to be on it.
Exactly. Next time, why don't you actually respond in a timely manner, sir? Hmm?
Like,
Yeah.
because like we're gonna have a,
Yeah, get here early.
also a mod.
Also,
Wait,
mod him.
why do you want to be a mod?
Oh, so can I make a self-promotion?
Sure.
So this week I'll be doing a podcast where me and the FIT2 crew will be talking about Friendship is Tragic 1. So you can check out on my channel, The Bluish Pony, and don't give Wolfhead the power.
What power do you want? Power in my server to be a mod, or power here to be a mod? Because I don't know how to make you I don't know how to make you a mod on my Twitch.
So yeah.
I know how to make people mods on Twitch, so we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be scheduling the live stream on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to watch the podcast where me and the FIT2 crew will talk about the behind the scenes from Friendship is Tragic 1. And if you haven't watched Friendship is Tragic, I suggest you do, because it's very tragic.
Yeah, and
so,
Well,
and
I
like
would assume so.
and like you said, I'm gonna be hoping to do maybe the second podcast this week. That's only if you guys are able to be around. It would be about the favorite horror movies. Then Saturday I'm going back to Doki Doki. We're gonna finish Doki Doki finally because we're getting close to the end of Doki Doki, and I want to finish
Saturday
it so
for
I
you,
can
but
move
it'll
to
be-
another.
Well,
game.
it's about time.
And we do
Well-
have a fun collab cover planned, me and Duct Tape. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah. But anyways, I'll see you guys on
I'll
the
be
next
honest.
podcast.
I need you to remind me
stream.
what this. I need you to remind me what that collab is. I forgot.
I'll tell you, and I'll tell you in the call when the stream's over.
Yeah. Okay.
But until Thursday, I will see you guys later. And thank you again for Snick, Duct Tape, Desert Samurai, and Golden, even though he's not here anymore, for joining me in this stream. It was so much fun for the first podcast, and I hope to do more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good one.
And we're gonna switch over to the stream over screen.
Take care.
Later, bitches.
I want to be on the tower.